कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में इतना सा फर्क है, एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में ये अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी। ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
A very good afternoon to all the dear friends. We, the entire team of Franchise India, is delighted to welcome all of you to our Business Opportunity Over Chai webinar series. This is a 45-minute session digital presentation of the business opportunity which we have got for you. It's our everyday aim to provide the maximum business solutions so that you take a right and a conscious decision of selecting the perfect franchise for yourself. We welcome management team of Franchise India, Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am. It's our privilege that they'll be sharing their insights and viewpoint with us about this industry, as well as we'll talk about the brand. And the brand which we are representing for all of you comes from the land of Gujarat, varieTEA. Today we have invited Rishit Bhai, who will be the founder and the director at this particular brand, and talking about his franchisee-owned company-operated model for you. They are offering the revenue share as well as minimum guarantee if you associate with them. varieTEA comes from the group of varieTEA Food, which is a heritage brand. They started their journey 80 years ago. And today, Rishit Bhai will be talking about the group as well as the business opportunity he has got for you. So thank you so much, Rishit Bhai, for joining in today, sparing time from your busy schedule. We would like to have a presentation from your side.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Archana. Thank you for, for the opening, this thing for variety. So we'll start, I'll start with the presentation first, I think, because we are talking about the brand variety. We'll talk about the presentation. Am I visible? So firstly, so that...
Yes, we can see the presentation. We have to just go for full screen. ऋषि सर, आप ना कंट्रोल एल कर दीजिए तो भी फुल स्क्रीन हो जाएगा. कंट्रोल एल.
Not coming in, sorry. We may try. Is it coming in now? I think the full screen is coming.
Ji.
So yes, so we are talking about variety. People from Gujarat, Ahmedabad, I think they've heard about the name, the brand variety. I'll start with a brief of the company first. brief of the company is we've been into the tea industry since almost 8 decades now. I am the fourth generation in this now. This is one of the wings which we've come into retail. Variety is into tea estates, tea exports, and the company Variety Foods was formed predominantly for the brand Variety, which is also more than a decade old now. It's been 12 years since we have started Variety. So we are not fairly new to the industry. It's almost been a decade. I'm talking decade because 2 years of Corona has gone into it. So 12 years. So there's 10 years. We can say that Variety is a decade-year-old brand. If you're considering Corona, then of course it's a 12-year-old brand. So basic about Variety is that first we are talking about the proposition, the company. So it's a cafe-based model. So it is very simple, a cafe lounge model. I understand most of the people understand what is a cafe and a lounge. So this is the three main aspects which we offer in Variety, which is the gourmet food, the iced teas, and the tea mixologies. Definitely being in Gujarat centric markets, we do offer a lot more food than it's just gourmet food. But this is predominantly what Variety is all about. We are first talking about what Variety is all about. These three are the main aspects of Variety. Now, why iced tea and why not? Well, we're not saying that we are not doing any milk-based teas or anything of that sort. We are doing predominantly iced teas for that matter because we are pairing a lot of food with it. So there is a lot of iced teas, mocktails, and the proposition which we have for Pune, Hyderabad, Mumbai, we are looking at tea-based alcohols there. So we are looking at a tea-based beer, a tea-based wine, which have been developed by the company. So these are the propositions which we give, which is unique, yet there is a consistency of a brand. Now, any brand or any name for that matter is of course created by the public. So we've been accepted, loved by the public of mainly Ahmedabad, Gujarat, for that matter. So what we are looking at is that we're looking at an upgradation in that. We are not looking at something that every brand is evolving, and we are also evolving to another level now. So we've been upgrading by understanding what are the needs of a cafe lounge and then upgrading to another. We also have our ambiences. If you look at, there are different places, there are different style of ambiences. One is there's a sofa seating, one is a, trendy cafe seating. There is a open cafe seating. If you just look it up in this way, we also have live entertainments which happen. We also have talk shows and open mic sessions happening, but we tend to keep it at post Corona. We've not had those open mic sessions, but still our live musics are there. So we try to keep the outlet more lively and more with the generation. Now, as far as firstly, now we know that all the aggregators come into the picture. All the aggregators are important also. So Variety as a cafe lounge does focus on a lot of deliveries and a lot of aggregator business also. It's not that Variety business is only on the outlet sale only. So as you see, our ratings have not been below 4. So this is a consistent rating of 10 years. I'm not talking about a consistent rating of 5 months or 6 months. They can easily come up by a normal 4 rating, if you can say in 6 months or 8 months. This is a consistent rating of 10 years. So why putting this slide? We try to show that in the dine-in delivery, we've got a consistent rating of 4.2 in dine-in in Zomato, 4.4 in Swiggy, delivery mein 4.0 in Zomato. Currently, it has changed again to 4.1 and 4.2. We're continuously monitoring that. But a consistent rating of 4 for a decade. That is why we had put in those slides. Now, looking at the industry, why tea-based beers and tea-based wines, which we are talking about, it is that's what the cafe-centric alcohol is. People want to socialize over a beer or a wine. That's how we've created those products to come as a basically cafe joint or a lounge joint, which we are trying to say. There are a lot of places where especially in places like Pune, Hyderabad, Mumbai, where there are places where you people do hang out. They do not want to have a full meal, and they also want to socialize over food and a bit of drinks. That is how our model is being derived too. this is how basic our segmentation is there, how what we look at, why light alcohol beverages, why there is a difference in the customers, what we're looking at, the customer segmentation, what we look at. So we're not talking about a place which is not advisable for families. It is a someone who's wanting a light drink, we're talking about an age bracket between 35 to 50. So there is a where there's the money, there is people want to spend, and they're looking for a proper ambience or a place. And there's not loud music like we just showed you. We had light music and live bands playing. That is how we get into it. And talking about the formats, being from a Gujarat, so we cannot have a lounge with alcohol in the Gujarat. So that's why we have two models on display. Both are the models which are very crisp and simple. I think we've had a cafe model where we're looking for cities in like Surat, Baroda, which we are looking forward for that. And the lounge model, which is predominantly beer and wine, which would be outside Buddha. So these are the two formats, but predominantly it's a cafe lounge format. So it is not a heavy format of only chai. Yes, we do have the chai, we do have the gourmet teas, which is generally consumed, but our predominant focus is on iced teas. This is just an overview how the two formats are different. So there's food in common in both, mocktails in both. There are iced teas flavors. Light alcohol differs from person, the cafe and the lounge. Private seating area, which is in both. The gourmet food is in both. We consider the variety lounge to be more of a party place and cafe to be more of a casual meeting place. So that's sometimes we have to just differentiate between the two. Is this a party place and a casual meeting place? Because there is light amount of alcohol in it. This is predominantly the FOCO model, which what I'm here to talk about is predominantly a FOCO, and what is different from the FOCO models currently being offered in the market, and how we are proposing the FOCO model. So if you can see, there is a simple 3 pointers, which is how we look at the FOCO model to be. So the franchisee has to invest in the setting up of the unit and the company is operating it. And how we do it, I'll just come out to that in just while I'm taking through the FOCO model presentation. So this is where I'm talking about the complete investment plan and the FOCO. The numbers which are given here are predominantly on the higher side. So just to be precise, whatever the CAPEX and the OPEX together put across is given on the higher side. But we're just trying to make you understand how it will work. So technically what we are looking from the franchisee partner is that the franchisee partner is investing. First, they are investing into the total interiors and everything. Post which there is a 3 months, if you see, there is a working capital and the deposits which are coming into the picture. Post which all the rentals, the staffing, the food cost is borne by the company. Now, what do you get? What our minimum guarantee is? So the total which is open and which is formatted, so there's a project budget to it. So the project budget, from the 5th month, you directly get a 12% on that as an investor, which is the minimum guarantee. No matter the sales come up to be 50,000 or no matter the sales comes up to be 50 lakhs. You're getting a minimum guarantee if this outlet is operational. We do not want a corona situation again. So we would want that, we want things to move out. If the operational outlet is even operated for 1 day, 5 days, we were keeping it as an operational outlet that way. So that is a minimum guarantee which you get every month. Secondly, what you get is it's initial investment, that is the minimum guarantee, plus the revenue share, which is 7%. I think there's a mistake in the thing. It was plus, not or. Generally there is or for any franchise scenarios. This is plus, which we'll have to just edit it and then just come back to you on that. But that's not an issue. But it's plus 7% on sales. So what we are looking at, a minimum sales guarantee of around between 15 to 18 lakhs a month. That is 7% of that. So you're getting a short 12% on your investment, and you're getting on sales. This is the model which we are offering currently. Now, how we go about it is this is for a period of 5 years. This is a lock-in period of 5 years which we given. What is after the end of 5 years? What we look at it is either if you want to continue with the same agreement or the same arrangement, because we're starting an outlet, starting a city with you. So post which, if you want to continue the same outlet with us, then it's at a 50% capex of whatever you're spending. So capex, I will just going back to the other slide. The subtotal comes down to 44 lakhs. So then you're talking about 22 lakhs, which you have to reinvest again. You're not investing into the property deposits or working capital again. So it is the total of the capex, which is incorporated, which has to be invested 50% back into the business for that matter. So we continue with the same terms again with your minimum guarantee and your 7% on sales. In case of any scenario, if any scenario where you do not want to continue with the franchise, there's a company buyback at 25%. So we are trying to de-risk as much as we can. I mean, as far as being hospitality, I think most of the investors here, they're very clear about the model that there is a lot of things where, we cannot, get it out of the system. We are trying to de-risk as much as we can. So now people would ask, what do? We would be taking care of the staffing. We would be taking care of the rentals post the complete investment, what we've given you. We would be taking care of the food. We taking care of the handling. Then why the franchisee? So franchisee would be your, see, any business, I think any business has a personal touch. I mean, all of us know that. So the main reason of having a franchisee together here is that we're looking more of a marketing from the franchisee, in the sense they have to be inviting people, handling a PR. That's what their role would be. And I think that you randomly suggest anyone going to any cafe or a lounge whenever it's newly opened in your place, even if whether you're an investor or you're not an investor. This is just as good as promoting an outlet or promoting the outlet or the brand for that matter. That's about it. Rest, all of it is taken care of. We are not asking you, as far as certain investors would ask us when we open an outlet and we are connected to one outlet. So how do we be connected? So yeah, you are connected with us on the social media page is as good as your brand. You are connected with us wherever required, but the handling would be done by the company. That's it. Now, I think most of the people would also have a question saying, how would the payouts happen? And how would I know that what am I getting? So that's the question. I think most of the people want that. How do I know my 7% of sales and how would I get my 7% of sales? That's very important. So what we have a system here is that what the banking would be taking place, the bank accounts would be in the portion with the investor in that. So there would be a particular bank account for a particular outlet. And that's what the bank even provides that. So there is a total P&L statement which would come in every month for that particular outlet. So you would also know, even if the company is not making money, and you would also get a payout from that money, and you have access to that bank account also. So it's not that you would not have an access to it. You would also have an access to the bank account and the access to the data of that particular outlet. So this was the basic brief on the FOCO, what we are providing, and how detailed we worked on the FOCO and the model together. I think I'm open for the questions now. If there's any questions, or I think if Sonia ma'am, I think is there, or Archana ma'am is there. So I think
thank you so much for presenting, and this was a very clear, crisp presentation. And friends, मैं आप सबको request करूँगी. I did see some of you asking to even make them understand the model in Hindi. So I will use a combination of Hindi and English. और मैं सबको रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी जो भी आपके क्वेश्चंस हैं बिजनेस को लेके आप प्लीज Q&A बॉक्स में डालिए, एंड ये सारे के सारे क्वेश्चंस हम आपके बिहाफ पे ऋषित भाई से हम अभी लेना शुरू करेंगे. तो मैं जल्दी से थोड़ा सा बता देती हूँ बिजनेस के बारे में, एंड फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू हु माइट हैव जॉइंड लेट. सो ऋषित भाई बहुत ही सीजन्ड एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं. ही इज द 4th जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर, सो व्हिच मींस द कंपनी और जो फैमिली है इनकी, दे आर नॉट न्यू टू द टी बिजनेस, दे नो हाउ टू डू द बिजनेस. So here what we're talking about is a retail franchise format for a tea cafe and a tea lounge. and key points जो business model से निकल के आते हैं, which I will also take up very quickly so that you have easy and quick understanding in case you missed out any part. Their model first and foremost ये very well backward integrated है because they also run their own estates in Assam. They're a leading company plantation or production of tea में a very popular brand, tea brand. I'm sure you must have all consumed or seen that brand. Belsari करके एक brand है, popular tea brand. That is the पेरेंट कंपनी ऑफ वैरायटी. सो सबसे पहली चीज जो भी कोई इन्वेस्टर देखता है किसी भी इन्वेस्टमेंट में, वो देखता है कंपनी के क्रेडेंशियल्स क्या है, क्रेडिबिलिटी ऑफ प्रमोटर्स, पीपल बिहाइंड. ये सबसे बड़ी प्रायोरिटी होती है किसी भी इन्वेस्टर की जब किसी बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहता है, राइट. On the brand side, जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं which all of you look at is a transparency in providing the information. प्रोडक्ट क्या है, सोर्सिंग कहाँ से हो रही है, do they have a successful outlet, prototype exist करता है कि नहीं करता है. इसके अलावा जो other criterias are also which affect the choice of a business include, how stable the business is. वैल्यू जो इन्वेस्टमेंट की है वो आपको क्या मिल रही है, you look at the support from the company and also franchisor stability. I feel if I look at all these points, and ये top criteria होते हैं किसी भी इन्वेस्टर किसी कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए. बहुत ही कम कंपनीज हैं. At Franchise India platform, we have been representing every day a new company, and we bring a lot of new concepts, formats also that we launch every day. But बहुत ही कम ऐसी कंपनीज होंगी जो हम खुद एंडोर्स करते हैं, and absolutely variety is one such company or a brand that we also endorse at Franchise India. So दो मॉडल्स की इसमें बात हम कर रहे हैं, और ये दो मॉडल हमारे 4 मार्केट्स के लिए हैं जिसके लिए हम पार्टनर्स इनवाइट करेंगे एप्लीकेशंस. So one market is Gujarat, and I'm taking Gujarat, the entire state, as one market, जहाँ पे हम फ्रेंचाइजी और फ्रेंचाइजी ऑपरेटेड मॉडल करेंगे. कैफे मॉडल के लिए जो छोटा मॉडल है 25 लाख का इन्वेस्टमेंट है. इनफैक्ट द लास्ट कपल ऑफ डेज बिफोर द वेबिनार when we started inviting prospective investors, we received a lot of calls from people who actually called us and said कि नहीं हमने विजिट किया वो varieTEA, अब वो फ्रेंचाइज कर रहे हैं तो हम जानना चाहते हैं क्या स्ट्रक्चर है. सो बहुत सारे लोग अहमदाबाद के, गुजरात के, who had already seen the outlet, visited the outlet, experienced the brand, they were very happy that we are coming up with a franchise model. So ये उन लोगों के लिए जो सिर्फ गुजरात मार्केट के लिए छोटा इन्वेस्टमेंट है 25 लाख का, आप ही ओन करेंगे, आप ही ऑपरेट करेंगे. दूसरा जो मॉडल है वो फ्रेंचाइजी ओन कंपनी ऑपरेटेड मॉडल है, विच आर ओनली फॉर 3 cities, बॉम्बे के लिए, पुणे के लिए, हैदराबाद के लिए. Only these 3 cities we are looking at, and to start off with, we want one partner each in these cities. This is a franchisee owned company operated model, which is a lounge model जिसमें wine and beer भी serve होगा. So इसमें what the company is offering is the entire investment जो आप करते हैं. There are 3 set of investments I would say that you are expected to do. सबसे पहले इन्वेस्टमेंट आपकी कैपिटल पे होगी, जो आपका इंटीरियर हो गया, और बाकी जो भी इन्वेस्टमेंट है जो इक्विपमेंट की होगी, जो एक आउटलेट को खड़ा करने में लगती है. सो ये वो इन्वेस्टमेंट का ब्रेकअप है जो दिया गया है, वेयर द कंपनी इज आल्सो वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट. दे विल गिव यू ऑल द स्पेसिफिकेशंस एंड रिक्वायरमेंट. अगर आपको लगता है इन्वेस्टमेंट आपकी थोड़ी और कम में हो सकती है, लोकली आप एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हैं, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो अलाउड बाय द कंपनी. सो ये एक पार्ट हो गया आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट का, जो आपका पूरा आउटलेट सेट करता है. दूसरा जो आपका पार्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट में जो लगता है सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट है, विच मेनी कंपनीज डोंट इवन टॉक अबाउट. सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट आप किसी भी बॉम्बे में, पुणे में या इसमें हैदराबाद में जिस भी प्रॉपर्टी के लिए जो डिपॉजिट होगा, मोस्टली नॉट मोस्टली आई वुड से 100% जो डिपॉजिट होता है ये सिक्योरिटी और आई वुड से इंटरेस्ट फ्री सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट होता है. उसके ऊपर भी कंपनी आपको 12% का एमजी दे रही है, और ये डिपॉजिट के ऊपर कोई भी कंपनी आपको मिनिमम गारंटी नहीं देती है. सो आपकी इन्वेस्टमेंट के 3 पार्ट्स हैं, रिपीटिंग. एक तो इन्वेस्टमेंट जो आउटलेट पे लगती है वो इन्वेस्टमेंट है. दूसरा सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट जो आप उसके लिए आप देते हैं. तीसरा जो आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो वर्किंग कैपिटल का इन्वेस्टमेंट है, जो सिर्फ पहले 4 months के लिए ही चाहिए होगा, एंड नॉट आफ्टर 4 months. सो ये 4 months का इन्वेस्टमेंट है, जिस इन तीनों इन्वेस्टमेंट्स के ऊपर यू हैव अ मिनिमम गारंटी विच इज 12% विच द कंपनी विल गिव यू. और ये जो मिनिमम गारंटी है आपकी शुरू होती है 5th month से. इसके अलावा मोस्ट ऑफ द कंपनीज लाइक ऋषित भाई ने बताया कि हमारा और लिखा हुआ है, एंड जनरली सारी कंपनीज या तो मिनिमम गारंटी देती हैं या आपको एक रेवेन्यू शेयर देती है जो हमारी सेल होती है. इन दिस केस ये एक मिनिमम गारंटी भी मिल रही है 12% की. सो आपकी सारी की सारी इन्वेस्टमेंट जो है आपको एक मिनिमम गारंटी महीने की मिलेगी, अगर सेल कम भी होती है ज्यादा भी होती है, बट ये 12% आपकी पूरी इन्वेस्टमेंट का, केपेक्स का, सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट का, वर्किंग कैपिटल का आपको 12% आपको मिलेगा हर महीने. और दूसरा जो आपका शेयर है वो है रेवेन्यू शेयर, जो आपका 7% का है. ये आपको ओवर एंड अबव मिलेगा. सो दोनों को मिला के तकरीबन आपका 19% होता है. एक आपको मिलेगा आपकी इन्वेस्टमेंट के ऊपर। दूसरा, रेवेन्यू शेयर में जो आउटलेट सेल करेगा, जितनी भी सेल हमारे आउटलेट से होगी, उस टॉप लाइन में, दिस इज नॉट आफ्टर टेकिंग आउट द प्रॉफिट्स, जितनी भी आपका टॉप लाइन होगा उस आउटलेट का, उसमें जितना भी सेल होगा उसका 7% भी आपके बैंक में ट्रांसफर किया जाएगा। हैविंग सेड दैट, द कंपनी हैज आल्सो गिवन यू ट्रांसपेरेंसी। जितने भी आउटलेट्स इन 3 लोकेशंस पे हमारे बनेंगे, इसका एक सेपरेट बैंकिंग खुलेगा, इसमें आपका पीओएस होगा। सो ऑल ट्रांसपेरेंसी, जितनी भी वहां पे सेल्स होंगी इन लोकेशंस पे, इन पे विजिबिलिटी हमारे पार्टनर्स की रहेगी। इवन आवर पार्टनर्स कैन कम एंड विजिट दीज आउटलेट्स, बट बैंकिंग में पूरी ट्रांसपेरेंसी होगी, जहां पे सारी की सारी सेल्स इन बैंक्स में आएगी, सो दैट यू आर अश्योर्ड दैट आपको जो रेवेन्यू शेयर मिल रहा है उसी अमाउंट पे मिल रहा है, विच इज बीइंग ट्रांसफर्ड इन द कंपनी। सो ये हमारे दो इसमें फॉर्मेट्स हैं। सो कपल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस ऋषित भाई जो मैं आपसे लूंगी, फ्रेंड्स मैं आपसे भी रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी, एनी क्वेश्चंस दैट यू हैव, यू वांट टू पुट ऑन द Q&A बॉक्स, आप प्लीज इसमें डालना शुरू कीजिए और हम सारे क्वेश्चंस आपको हम लेंगे। एक और चीज है, इसमें आपकी खुद की इन्वॉल्वमेंट की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, इट इज अ फ्रेंचाइजी ओन कंपनी ऑपरेटेड मॉडल, तो एसेट आपकी बुक में ही रहेगा। सो एसेट आपकी बुक में है, आप अपनी बुक में डेप्रिसिएशन इसका शो कर सकते हैं, और कंपनी की जो एग्जिट स्ट्रेटेजी है वो भी वेल डिफाइंड है। 5 साल के बाद अगर आपको लगता है आपने कंटिन्यू करना है, यू कैन कंटिन्यू एंड यू कैन मे बी मेक अनदर इन्वेस्टमेंट, बिकॉज 5 साल के बाद जो इंटीरियर्स हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, वो डिट्यूरेट होता है, सो यू हैव टू इन्वेस्ट लिटिल बिट, about 50% ऑफ द इनिशियल कैपिटल एंड कंटिन्यू फॉर द नेक्स्ट टर्म। दूसरा ऑप्शन कंपनी भी दे रही है, अगर आपको कंटिन्यू नहीं करना है, जो भी वो एसेट की वैल्यू होगी उसका जो भी 25% होगा जो आपने इन्वेस्ट किया है, उस पे कंपनी बाय बैक कर लेगी। सो दे हैव काइंड ऑफ de-risked योर एंटायर इन्वेस्टमेंट, जहां पे आपको एक मंथली रिटर्न्स मिलता है, अगर अपसाइड होगा रेवेन्यू शेयर में आपको अपसाइड मिलता है, प्लस दे ऑल्सो हैव गिवन यू एग्जिट। कल को अगर आपने एग्जिट करना है, वो एक डिफाइंड वैल्यू जो आपके एग्रीमेंट पे लिखी जाएगी, उस पे कंपनी आपको 25% देके दे कैन टेक ओवर द बिजनेस। सो वेरी क्लीन एंड वेरी डिफाइंड एग्जिट। सो ऋषित भाई, मैं कुछ क्वेश्चंस मैं लूंगी इसमें, जैसे हमने जो टोटल हमने रेवेन्यू शेयर की बात की, और दूसरा हमने एक मिनिमम गारंटी जो अपने मॉडल में डाला है, ये दोनों के दोनों ही हम 5th मंथ से शुरू करेंगे। रेवेन्यू शेयर हम पहले महीने में भी, बिकॉज पहले महीने में आउटलेट ऑपरेट होना शुरू हो जाएगा, सो दिस रेवेन्यू शेयर विल कम फ्रॉम द वेरी फर्स्ट मंथ, और दिस विल ऑल्सो स्टार्ट ओनली फ्रॉम द 5th मंथ।
See, ma'am, the main thing in here is that depends on the outlet structure. What happens is why we say 4 months, because 3 months generally it is a transparent thing that some outlets come out in 60 days, some outlet comes in 70 days. So depending on the outlet structure when it comes out to be. See, honestly, the 1 month which we are taking is totally for training and uplifting the store. So we see the revenues, but we don't mind giving the revenues shared, because end of the day, the revenues are very low on the first month. It's not very high also, but we're trying to say 5th month. So there's a transparency in the agreement. So you know that your money is coming in from this date.
Correct. All right. And also couple of other things, जैसे एक तुम्हारा वर्किंग कैपिटल है which is invested by the partner, दूसरा लॉन्च आप कह रहे हैं पहले 2 या 3 महीने हमारे लगेंगे, that investment वर्किंग कैपिटल फ्रेंचाइजी करेगा। इसमें जो इनिशियल लॉन्च होता है, is that something where he also contributes, या सारा लॉन्च का सारा एक्सपेंडिचर is something which is taken care entirely by the company?
So that's where we are trying to say, so the launch is taken care by us. That's why we say the revenue what we give from the 5th month. So all that launch expenses which we do is taken care by us.
And इसमें even hiring of entire staff, training of staff, supply chain,
see, I'll just share one point, ma'am. Generally what happens is that when we are talking about 1200 square feet in such metro cities, there is a lot of things coming into the picture for staffing also, which up general case scenario mein people don't know. There is also PFESI coming in the system, which we have to take care, we have to manage all that. That is no headache of the franchisee. It looks very simple that okay, there are only 10 people and 10 people hire karna hai. But after a certain number, there is a PFESI which is involved for the company also. We have to look into that category also. Incentives also to push them for sales. That is why we want to keep that we manage the staff, so there is the investor also gets a return, and the company is also moving on with their outlets with the positive.
And also I'm seeing a lot of questions which one of our I would say participants has asked, and I will take these questions also. And इसके अलावा ऋषित भाई, इस पे जो भी लोकेशंस होंगी, कोई असिस्टेंस हमें लोकेशन की भी मिलेगी, जैसे हैदराबाद, बॉम्बे, any of these locations where a franchisee wants to put up, are we also providing some kind of assistance in getting these locations for a partner?
We would have a total system driven thing, that we would also have location tracker, and we also have people. There are some people who want Vastu with it, them also. So we have both in the company organization. So we can get that both. Select the location and we see it that is, if people want it, they are Vastu compliant also.
Okay. And एक चीज और फ्रेंड्स है इसमें जो वर्किंग कैपिटल लाइक आई मेंशन ओनली फॉर 4 months, इसका मतलब ये है कि आफ्टर 4 month आपको रेंटल भी नहीं देना है. सो द इंटायर इन्वेस्टमेंट इज ओनली लिमिटेड टू द 4 months कंप्लीशन. एंड इसके बाद द इंटायर ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस. एंड एक चीज और है, आई डोंट नो ऋषित भाई हमने बात की है, इसमें वर्किंग कैपिटल में फूड कॉस्ट आपकी नहीं आएगी. फूड कॉस्ट एक बहुत बड़ा कंपोनेंट होता है सेल्स का. सो वो कॉस्ट आपको एब्जॉर्ब नहीं करनी है. आपकी वर्किंग कैपिटल में सिर्फ सैलरी आएगी और आपका इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड रेंटल, ओनली दीज 3 कॉस्ट. फूड कॉस्ट तकरीबन आपका 35-40% हमारा हो जाता है इन रनिंग अ लाउंज ऑफ दिस फॉर्मेट. जो भी सेल होती है वो सारी की सारी कॉस्ट कंपनी एब्जॉर्ब करेगी, तो उसमें आपको इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना है. सो ऋषित भाई हमने 3 मार्केट्स की बात की है. इसमें आई हैव मिस्टर अरिजीत दास, वो पूछ रहे हैं कैन वी आल्सो हैव अ फॉर्मेट लाइक दिस इन कोलकाता. कोलकाता में क्या हम ऐसा शुरू कर सकते हैं कि नहीं? सो कोलकाता इज वन मार्केट वेयर ही इज.
So the company is from Kolkata.
Yes,
So
that's right.
So yeah, we do not like, we are not saying that we are not actively looking for these markets. Being Western India centric, we can look at Western India centric, but we would be open for Kolkata also. That would be coming in the stage if we are. So passively, we are looking for cities. It's not that we are not looking for a passively pan India expansion, but these are active cities which we are looking for. So Kolkata, of course, is not a problem because we have a total bandwidth and the staffing there and everything. So we shouldn't have a problem with that.
Right. And Rishita, बहुत सारे questions हैं. I'll start with maybe taking some of these questions. Like I mentioned, Mr. Saurabh Amin Bhavi has a couple of questions. So I'll take it up, and he's asking like all our stores are currently based out of Gujarat. The question is on how do we plan our logistics for other states outside Gujarat? Will it be centrally controlled, supplied from Gujarat, or we would have other suppliers, vendors? Especially, I feel on the product side also is what is his question on logistics and supply.
So I'll just answer this question. We have, Sonia ji, we've taken particular cities as Pune, Mumbai, and Hyderabad. We have the backhand logistics already set up for the supply chain there. That is where we are predominantly only talking particular cities. We could, yeah, like I said, we are actively in those cities because we have a backhand supplier, logistics, and a supply chain sorted in that.
Okay. All right. And I think we've already covered a plan to scale up the manpower hiring. So this is something friends company will take care of in all locations outside Gujarat. In case of Gujarat, the company will give the entire training. Any assistance, Rishit bhai, jo hum recruitment mein denge for our partners in Gujarat?
So we will, I would basically look at initially in Gujarat also that we would look at the management for 1 year till the time the outlet is totally ready. So what we had thought about is we're talking a 4-4 model there, where we're talking about only 20,000 royalty. But what we would look at is for 1 year, we would have a staff on our payroll and they just pay us on that. So the outlet is completely ready. So that would be the complete backup, which we would get for Gujarat. So would not look at that we are not doing it a FOCO, but it will be a half FOCO. But technically the staffing is in their payroll, but it's managed by us. Something like that, which we would go on that. We would not want to not give staffing on that.
Okay. So I think that was the question. He said if the company payroll or some third party. So Saurabh ji, aapke payroll pe hi रहेंगे, but entire management of that manpower.
So there is 2 options in that, Sonia ji. Isme kya hota hai, we can do that. There's a company giving supply, and then we have this thing that whatever they need, there's a chef, there's this which we supply on a regular basis. And that's simply, we have to just supply them and they take it from us. That is one option of doing it. Second option, what I said is that 1 year the company, hamare staff is in our payroll and they're just giving us that management fee for that. So if, for example, the staffing is, for example, 1 lakh rupees, so that we only charge you 1 lakh rupees and you pay us 1 lakh, which will be paying to the staff. So, but it's managed so that you do not have to worry about the first year, and then you're fine. Then that staff will get shifted on your payroll. That's how we can work.
And I will also take a couple of more questions. And the question is, will the investor be involved in making any kind of operational decisions like marketing, promotions, And if yes, to what extent will that involvement be? Because friends, we're talking about two models. So जो आपका franchisee and franchisee operated होगा वो आप करेंगे, and obviously company will also assist you. But जो भी locations बाहर हैं जहाँ पे company manage कर रही है, Rishit bhai, I think this question is more towards those locations.
So see, basically, I'll give you a simple answer for this for marketing. Generally, what we do is any outlet, what we do, we keep a certain budget for marketing for each outlet. What I would suggest with him is that we can look at the budget. Sometimes what happens is that ऐसा नहीं होता that if the outlet is doing well, you don't spend on marketing. ऐसा नहीं होता कि if it's not doing well, you spend more on marketing. We could probably derive to a budget that this would be the monthly spends for each and every outlet. So uske beech mein we would see to it that the company spends, and we also want that even the partner with us knows that we are spending on marketing for that matter.
Okay, and that's helpful. And the other question, because we're talking about a franchisee and company operated model, and दूसरा जो हमारा model है, would you also want to give typically इन दोनों models में हमारी क्या financial performance रहती है, क्या average हमारी sale निकल के आती है?
So see, we are currently we are talking about a minimum sales of 15 lakhs a month, but we are currently doing 18 lakhs a month average sales of all our outlets, which is per month. So I'm talking on the lower side also 15 lakhs a month, which is together you're coming out to 1 crore 80 lakhs a year. I'm talking about 7% of that. If you're talking about the minimum thing. Now with alcohol, of course, I mean, people have known that the outlet sales goes up predominantly high to around about 40 to 50 lakhs a month. Right. So you can just calculate the revenues accordingly. But minimum, if we average it out, is 20 lakhs for a lounge model is minimum what we look at. So 2.4 to 2.7 crores ke beech mein, there is a revenue which we can look at in a year. And 7% of that, what is the thing which we are talking? Investment ka 12% is there, but then the 7% on the 2.7 crores is there. This is what we look at.
And typical इसमें जो हमारा payback period होता है, you know, how long would that be in both these models?
So if you look at it very simply, see, if you're talking about 2.7 crores in a, I mean, where there is alcohol, so you're talking about 19 lakhs almost coming every year. So 19 lakhs plus your 12%, what we're talking, whatever the investment coming to, that I'm talking as a pure investment, and they're getting there. But 19 lakhs अगर आप देख रहे हैं तो आपका payback period अगर if you're looking on a regular basis तो आपको 44 lakhs या 73 lakhs, whichever one you're taking on the higher side. So you're getting 19 to 20 lakhs a year, plus you're getting 12%, which is on that 70 lakhs, you're getting 12%. So it is a predominantly, if you're looking at 73 lakhs, which we have given on the higher side here.
So this would be about, you know, इस बड़े model के लिए तकरीबन 2.5 years where you know, kind of get your entire investment back. And by the end of the term, you would be close to, you know, maybe, you know, do maybe at least 2x of the entire investment. I think that's
yes.
2x of the investment. And
if you're looking at, I think what we can look here is, ma'am, if you're clearly, we're looking at a flat 18 to 24% return ke beech mein every year. That is what we are trying to say, which is a proper business return, which we are talking about. Technically, any business, if you're running your own business, you're getting an investment return between 18% to 24% ke beech mein with all the scenarios. That is what the typical return you're looking at.
And I also have Mr. Jagdish is asking, are we also looking for Indore? Because Bombay हम देख रहे हैं, Bombay में कुछ भी खुलता है. Indore is one market which is highly influenced by Bombay. So is Indore a market that we want to consider at this stage?
We would look at Indore, but I have to just get into the tech. We've seen the Indore markets. We studied the outlets there. So I'm not sure about the alcohol there, but we can look at it without alcohol, because there is, I think there's some condition of alcohol there which we have to study. I think here, when it comes to alcohol, we have to study market to market also.
Absolutely, because licensing requirements for every market
is a very important part.
Unique. Yes.
Indore is a potential market for sure, because we are well located and well connected from Ahmedabad, Baroda, for that matter, even the Maharashtra market. So we can look at Indore, but then we're looking at whether I cannot promise the alcohol there. We can promise it without alcohol and keep it as a premium outlet for food and things like that, which we can work on.
And Trishit bhai, इसमें एक और I'm seeing one question from Mr. Akshay Sanklecha. I think he's from Ahmedabad and he's asking because Ahmedabad में हमारे अभी outlets चल रहे हैं. He's asking, do we have a opportunity or a scope for another franchisee in the city of Ahmedabad?
I think we are looking for at least space of 2 to 3 more outlets in Ahmedabad, because being at our home ground, we would have maximum amount of outlets controlling there. So we can look at outlets. We're looking at 2 to 3 more potential outlets here. So.
And गुजरात में भी ऋषित भाई कौन-कौन सी इंपॉर्टेंट हमारी सिटीज होंगी? अहमदाबाद एक हो गया और कौन सी आपकी?
विद्यानगर, बड़ौदा, सूरत.
So these are the 3 markets that we want. That's helpful. And friends, you can keep writing if there's any question that you want us to take. We'll take up these questions. And ऋषित भाई एक और चीज है, क्योंकि इन्वेस्टमेंट हमारी फोको मॉडल पे होगी, तो तकरीबन कितना टाइम लगता है एक आउटलेट को आने में? You know, after the location obviously is finalized, you know, how long does it take for outlet?
Is what we look at. 60 days is what we look at.
And is a franchisee supposed to be involved in any of you know, pre or post launch of
transparent purposes? We want them to be involved, otherwise we are here to take care of everything.
There's no monitoring of you know
we have a system thing where I mean, there would be things which could be shared on Workshare, and he or she can definitely look into it, what the development is happening. We give you updates on a regular basis, and of course we generally try to give it to vendors which supply us from key to key. That is how we work on.
Cool. And friends, I hope you know, this has been helpful for all of you. I will also request all of you, because in some cases I am not kind of reading what cities that you come from. Our teams at Franchise India, we working in all these locations. So we have our senior teams in Hyderabad, Bombay, Pune, and also Ahmedabad, where our teams will get in touch with all of you who have joined in. And I'm also sure that some of you who have already been to the outlet of variety are also on this webinar. So our teams who are either in touch with you or will be in touch with you after the webinar will reach out to you for all the information that you seek on the financial, the business model, maybe detailed breakup of the investment and also operating expenses. All that will be shared with you. And we would like to hold a discovery day. Ashton, I'm not too sure, is that 19th that we have a discovery day that we are planning? Sorry, that's 22nd. Then 22nd of November को हम discovery day कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे हम एक event रखते हैं, which can be event where you can come and meet also physically अगर आप local हैं. Else we will invite you for a telephonic or a Zoom call, जहाँ पे जो भी आपके related information जो आपको चाहिए, which is not clear, we would get you on a one-to-one call or a meeting to clarify all these doubts with Rishit bhai. And at the same time, even before you come on the call, you will get the complete information, the presentation, working, ROI, financial, so that we are well prepared to present ourselves on the call. And very important, because there are not many locations we are looking in these 3 cities. So we're looking for partners in all these 3 locations, where the most important locations, absolutely the first 2 or 3 locations that we want to partner, and some of the prominent locations where we would want to put this outlet. So you can put your applications and we will come back to you on an appropriate time that we can fix for 22nd of November for one-to-one discussion. And before we close, Rishit bhai, मैं request करूंगी कोई message जो आप सब लोगों को देना चाहते हैं, जो हमारे investors present हैं.
So I just want to say one thing. So we have the model which we together with Franchise India has created in such a way, not only looking at the operational hindrances which we get, but also looking at the financial, the concerns, and then created such a model. So I think we're one of the few companies, I would say, would be offering such a model. So, I mean, we would want you to at least come understand the model, because we've got total transparency, and we could actually answer to the maximum level to that what we can understand. And in the end, it's what we are looking at is a business partner. So you're just not a franchisee to us, you're a partner to us. So we're partnering with you for this complete venture. That's all we can say.
Absolutely, Rishit bhai, and this I would vouch also. We work with many companies. Generally, companies या तो revenue share देती हैं, minimum guarantee देती हैं, दोनों नहीं देती. So आपकी investment is also safe because you're getting an interest on that, and that which is obviously higher than the bank interest that you get, and plus you get a revenue share, which obviously is a return on the investment that you have made. So आपका दोनों side आपका de-risked है, plus security deposit and working capital is also which you're getting a minimum guarantee on. So if you need more information, friends, I will request that you reach on the hotline number of Franchise India. I would request Ashna if you can put that in the chat box, and also our email ID, which you can reach out to, and our teams will connect with you to maybe, for 20 seconds and set up a Zoom or a telephonic call for a detailed discussion. So friends, our hotline number is 9717683838, and also the email ID that you can reach out is feedback@franchiseindia.in. I'd like to thank all of you friends for being with us, and we also have recorded the webinar of today's presentation that we made on the Facebook page of Franchise India Brands. In case you want to go back and also see the entire recording of the webinar, you can do that, and you can go to the FI, which is Franchise India Brands Facebook page. Ashna, can I now request you to kindly take over for the closing remarks?
Sure. So thank you so much, Rishit Bhai. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am, for hosting this particular webinar and presented the model. Thank you, dear friends, for registration, joining us today. Do connect with us at different social handles. We are available at Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Connect with us at our business hotline number, as well as the email ID, feedback@franchiseindia.in, to get more information. Also, in case you wish to have more expert advice, management tips from our management team, connect Gaurav Sir and Sonia ma'am at their LinkedIn platform. Link I have just shared on our screen. And tomorrow, under our 12 p.m. webinar, we are inviting you to join us for Duck and Dry. That's the brand we are bringing you tomorrow. It's an international opportunity for all of you. So do registration, which is free of cost and very easy to do registration. Just go to our Facebook page where we have shared the registration link, or connect with us at our business hotline number. Look forward to have you in our tomorrow's webinar at 12 p.m. Thank you once again for joining in today. Have a very safe day. Thank you so much.